Hi guys, so welcome to the follow-up of our introduction to Python function. In the last video, and if you haven't seen this, just look it up. Look at the last video before this or the previous video, and you'll see it. It's called a simple function, where we did a simple documentation of a simple function. Now we're going to do a follow-up. And now this time we're going to do our documentation over here. So let me just put this right here. So we're going to do a documentation over here. Then over here, we're going to write our code. So here is our code. Now, the first thing we want to look at is this simple function. Two things stand out. And you may not know it at this point, but it doesn't have a parameter and we did not make an argument. So we're going to have a parameter and we're going to make an argument. So before we start, let me just copy this last function over here and I bring it to our code area right here. Now, as we proceed, we want to understand what is a parameter. Now you can see that we can see that this action call, which is our function name, has an empty parenthesis. Now there need to be something in here, and that something is called a parameter. So this is what is called a parameter. Now you want to know what's a parameter. A parameter is a piece of information. It's a piece of information that a function needs to do its job. So it's a piece of information a function uses to do its work. So that's what we need. So we would need to put a parameter in here. Now, when we put a parameter, what that means is the function can accept an input, right? Now, currently, let me go over here and I do a function call. So this is action call. And I decide I want to put, I want to put a call to action. So maybe I want to say aspiring data scientists. I want to say aspiring data scientists. Because I want to call, that's the call action directed to them. Now, if I do this, I'm going to have an error. It says action call takes 0 positional arguments. So you see now something has come up, an argument. So let's solve for this. So next thing we want to do is we want to introduce a parameter. So right in here, I'm going to call this parameter. You can give a parameter a name, right? So I'll call this learner. So, because the action call is for learner, so we've done this. So, look at that. Makes a lot of sense, right? Now, so next I want to do is, if I'm going to run this, now it has this. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make, now that we have this, if I decide to make this call aspiring data scientists over here, then now this is an argument. So now, over here, aspiring data scientists, see this guy? When we put it over here, this is an argument. So this is an argument. And now you ask, what's an argument? So it's interesting, right? So we'll document it here. An argument is a piece of information that's passed where you're making a function call into a function. So it's a piece of information in a function during a function call. Pretty simple, you see? That's really simple. So right now you see that we have put this over here, which is our parameter, and we have put this, and once we're going to make a function call. So this is a function call with an argument. So that's when you hear parameter and an argument in a simple Python function, this is what it is, right? So with this, let me make this a lot more readable. So I come over here and I use an F string. We all know what an F string is. It's like a string formatter. Check out my previous videos. You're going to see it's in the introduction to Python playlist. You're going to see what a parameter is. So this is an F string. And so what I want to do is I want to make this readable. So I say hello, and inside this, inside the curly brace, I add learner. So whatever it is I do, it's going to call this. So this is what we're going to have. So I'm going to run this. And previously we had this error. So I just want to put this over here, or let me push it down. So previously we had this. So right now I'm going to call this again, action call, but this time I'm going to put in aspiring data scientists and put an S to it. Right, so now we have a function call. So let me just take this out. This is without a function call. Let me take it out entirely. And so this, so over here, once I make this call over here, you see, hello aspiring data scientists, subscribe to this channel. So let's do a recap. What have we done? Here we introduced a simple function with a parameter and an argument. In our documentation, we stated that the parameter is a piece of information a function uses to do its work. Initially, we had no parameter here, so we introduced a parameter, and the parameter is just like a piece of information. It's a representation of what you may want to do when you are providing an argument for your function call. So over here, we had no function call, or we had no parameter at first. So when we tried it, we had a type error, so you can see. So we went on to solve for it by introducing parameter here. And then that parameter is what we now called aspiring data scientists. So a function call with an argument. Where we made the call, look at what we have here. So this is now a simple function with a parameter and an argument. Watch this video all over again if you don't get it, but just take your time. You will. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends who are aspiring data scientists.